Good evening, everyone. Happy Sunday. How you doing? Hope everyone's had a fantastic weekend. It's good to be here. I'm not sure there's that much to talk about, to be fair, this week. There's been there was obviously the UFC card, which had some really nice moments. BKFC was a lot of fun as well. And more importantly than that, Arsenal bottled it again, and football was saved. So I've still got a smile on my face about that. Obviously did the rounds and trolled every single Arsenal fan I could encounter. Even in the street, I was giving it to random strangers. Couldn't help myself. I know it sounds like a very shallow victory on my part because, let's be honest, they've won a hell of a lot more than Newcastle ever will. But you've got to take these little victories while you can. So I've enjoyed rubbing it in everyone's face. But yeah, how you doing, Pib? What's good, my guy? Hope you well. Don't tell me you're driving. Do not tell me you're driving again. I don't know how I keep catching you in these moments, but I'm gonna hope and assume you're at home and that you're tuning in out of the love of the game. That's what I'm hoping. But how are you, man? Hope you're well. Yeah, Franklist, yeah. I just haven't got around to shaving yet. I might leave it for a little while. What's up, bro? How you doing today, Nathan? I'm good, man. How are you? You're in bed. That's weird. I'd rather you were in the car, to be fair. I'm good, Ollie. How are you, man? I'm kind of hopping on just to get the rounds in, and I'm going back to work tomorrow, so it's been a little while since I've seen the building where I work at. I was sick for the last week of school, and then last week I wasn't in at all, so because of holiday. So I'm kind of looking forward to going back. Safe and sound. I'm just kidding, bro. I'm glad that you are not driving while listening to me ramble about God knows what. Adolf Franklin. No, I haven't quite got the it'd be like a pre-pubescent version of Adolf, to be fair. I never let any like any facial hair grow on my face usually, so this is quite a weird one for me. And I'm looking forward to going back to work tomorrow and getting absolutely trolled about it, about my pre-pubescent beard. And nobody has been live. Yeah, I haven't seen Guru in ages, man. I think he didn't do a card breakdown. Do you think Ian will take Makashev's belt? I don't. I think he'll make it damn close though. Ian Gary's good, man. He's not a man or anything. You know, the little annoying cuck. He's not exactly one of the boys. But he's a hell of a fighter, and it will make it so much funnier if somebody like him beats Islam. That would really rub the salt in the wound. It's like with Sean beating Hamza. It's the same kind of level. Losing's funny enough, but when they lose it to somebody who's generally a disgusting cuck and an embarrassment to all men everywhere, that would make it all the more funny. It would be equally funny if you lost to somebody like Morales, who clearly takes it up the arse. Let's be honest. We've seen how the guy rolls. He clearly is a little bit of a fudge packer. Not that there's anything wrong with that. How you doing, MMA now? What's good, man? Hope your health is holding up. Hope you're well. Always good to see you about. Yeah, like I said, it was a little bit of a dead weekend. Like the China card was decent. Like I had to watch most of it on my phone. I was on the road. BKFC, like I said, was very entertaining. A clearly juiced up Darren Till getting it done. Shout out to him. He's looked in better shape than I've ever seen him. He's clearly on the gear, and I respect it. He got a nice little win. He looked at, for those of you who didn't see it, he looked a little bit dodgy in the first round, got dropped after he was winning the fight fairly clearly. And then next round, he fucking... Guru's going to burn through any money he has if he does spend it. He's got to realize he needs to come back to make money. I reckon, judging by... Now, I may be misbranding him here. He doesn't strike me as somebody who has a lot of needs. If he's got his yard, he's got his computer, I think he's going to be fine. He doesn't seem to me like a big spender. I mean, can he drive? Are there like wheelchair available vehicles? I don't know. He doesn't seem to me like a big spender. He could probably live out the rest of his days on the money that he's already made from YouTube. If you don't think he's a couple of million up, you're crazy. And if you manage your money well, he seems like not just like a frugal individual, but he seems like he's quite smart of his money as well. And I think he'll always have an audience. I think if he decides to if he disappeared for a couple of years and then came back, he'd still have a solid base he could go back to make money. I think he'll be fine. Guru is probably on a boat with women right now. He needs some weekends off. He does, man. This is a guy who grinded hard for 7-8 years. If he wants to take a little time off, yeah, 2 million isn't going to last you for the rest of your life, especially at his age. I know people think 2 million sounds like a lot. It's not. But if you manage it well and you use that money to make more money, you can survive if you're frugal, you know? You can do well. Like, I'm not 2 million up, but I'm doing all right. You know, I own a couple properties and, you know, I don't spend too lavishly. I don't think he's got as much as 10 million. 10 million is a crazy amount of money. If I had to guess, I would say he's anything between 1 and 5 million would probably be and 5 would be at the top end. 5 million is a lot of money, considering what he's doing as well. His house is probably right by the channel. So convenient for him to launch a boat. You've really got this figure out. You could buy land. Depends on what you do with it at the end of the day. But no, I'd say Guru's anything up to about 5 million. I would say wouldn't surprise me. But to be honestly true, I've got no idea. How you doing, Cheddarhead? What's good, Chrissy? Guru probably in his gooning phase. Yeah, probably. I mean, here's the thing. Yeah, any job is tough. Yeah, doing the same thing over and over. Well, not any job is tough. Doing the same thing over and over again for 8 years must be tough on his psyche. Do you know what I mean? Especially with the stuff that he has to deal with in his chat, being consistent. And he clearly puts a lot of like research. I'm done sucking his dick. You know how much I love the guy. Fair play. I didn't think he had that much. No, well, if you think about it, yeah, there are live streams where he makes 2-3 grand a live stream. I think about how many of them he's done. And I mean, Giuliano Argenti probably sent him 100 grand just by himself. And that's just Argenti money. You know what I'm saying? Worried. I have a feeling he's going to be gone one day. Somebody will step up and I mean, Guru is one of a kind. And again, I need to stop kneeling for the guy, but he is one of a kind. But there'll be other things that can fill that void. You know, life moves on. Frankie has an Adesanya looking servant scrubbing his tub right now. And I've got actually Adesanya in there. That's why I'm enjoying his fall off grace more than anybody else. You know, those checks aren't going to be coming in anymore. And I only give him a toothbrush to clean with. How you doing, Juice Man? What's good, bro? Pray for Guru, indeed. Pray for us all. Not just Guru. Guru's done pretty well in life, you know. And he's earned every bit of it. Forget the money, yeah. The sense of community and everything that he has built has been nothing. I didn't think this was going to be an MMA Guru dick suckathon today, but fuck it. It is what it is. Everyone knows I'm a fan of the guy. Have you ever gone boating on the channel before, Frank? What I have a feeling that you're tricking me right now, and the term you're using of boating means something else. Means something more sinister. Can you clarify what you mean by boating? If it's like conventional boating that you're talking about, then no, I have been on a boat. He's leaving the sport with no CTE, 100%. Bro, he did it the right way. You got to shout out. Your thoughts on McGregor versus Holloway? I think Holloway TKOs him in the second round. I think McGregor looks good for a hot minute. You know, he lands a couple strikes in the first round. Holloway's chin holds up to it. And then he just peppers him with strikes and gets him out of there in the second round. Have you ever spread your legs in a public area? Not the way that you're suggesting. I get the sense you're the kind of cat that puts his legs behind his head. in certain situations. You know what I'm saying? You seem like that kind of freak. Boating is in yachts or speedboats. Driving, oh, like as in like real boating. I thought this was some kind of euphemism that I was unfamiliar with. I have not done boating online, no, but I have boated. Sure. How you doing, Bob? What's good, man? It's been a minute. Good to see you here. Guru needs to do at least 2 lives a week. It's honestly frustrating and pathetic. And Pib, I know that for you, you're somebody who's regularly had Guru in his life since the early days because you were one of the early people in there. What do you think of John Phillips in Bare Knuckle? I didn't see it, to be honest. I missed it. Wait, who was the guy who fought Darren Till? Was that John Phillips? Let me just check. I don't want to end up with egg on my face. Oh, no, that was Chalmers. I missed the John Phillips fight. I don't watch entire BKFC cards. I'm not at that level yet. To be honest, I completely forgot that it was on. And I happened to tune in just as like Darren Till was like 20 seconds away from knocking Chalmers out. Early days 2020. No, I remember you. I was in there early as well. I remember seeing you in there. I was in Guru's live chat when he was, I don't know, I can't remember if he did lives or not, if he was just doing videos, but it was before he hit 1,000. You look young, bro. You're like 24. I wish I was that young, man. I'm 41 years old, bro. That's why this so-called mustache and beard is embarrassing. This is about as good as it gets, and it ain't strong. It's like your entry-level facial hair. That's what your boy's rocking at 40 years old. It's pathetic. Aaron Chalmers. To be fair to Aaron Chalmers, he got beaten up for the majority of the fight, but at least he caught Till. Till is having a great post-UFC career. Amazing. He's made a lot of money already. And he's cracking the game, and he looks in fantastic shape. 100% he's juicing. But wouldn't you? If you can get away with it, fuck it. Shout out to Darren Tillman. I'm glad he's doing well. Gil and Grape Alley. So what have you been up to this weekend, Pib? I'm just going to target you individually. You're broke until payday. You need to step your game up, bro. I don't miss those days of living check to check. I really don't. Like, I got docked like $1,000 from my check this month. It just mildly annoyed me. Do you know what I mean? It wasn't like the end of the world. It was like, cheeky bastards. Anyway, moving on. Back to my lobster dinner. Do you know what I'm saying? That's the level you need to get to, sir. Never surrender. I'll spread it out for a Venmo dono. Women have it so easy. Yeah, I mean, but you lose your soul every time one of those women, sticks a dildo in or answers a chat, a little piece of their soul just disappears into the wind. I've been so bored this weekend, low energy. Are you not training anymore? Yeah, props to Till. Like, the boxings looked amazing. He obviously slimed out Luke Rockhold, which, let's face it, everyone's doing at this stage. But he still got it done. How you doing, Batman? Hope you're well. Hope the parents are well. Big shout out to you as always, one of the channel regulars. I like it when fighters succeed better without the UFC. It's a good look. It's nice. We should be rooting for every guy who leaves the UFC and makes something of themselves, unless they're Francis Ngannou, in which case I don't give a fuck. And it's weird because obviously Ngannou is a fellow Francis, and I've got no love for the cunt. Like, I wish him nothing but mediocrity. I never run out of money. I spent like 4K in a 3-week period, took a gash in my savings. Not fair enough, man. I mean, you don't need money to be happy. You don't get me wrong, but it certainly helps. UFC are greedy pieces of shit. I can't stand Dana Pink. It's a much better name for him. Dana Pink is a much more solid name. I hate when white women date black dudes, ruining their genetics. I guess Batman's back. I guess this proves that Batman's mother really is on the road to recovery because he's back being a racist little cunt again. Shout out to our boy. I swear that beard makes you look like a gay wussy. As opposed to when? When was I less of a gay wussy? And this isn't really a beard, man. This is bum fluff at best. But thanks a lot to you for calling this a beard, because it is not that. The UFC is evil. I like Pride or Strike Force more. The thing is, yeah, as a previous UFC fan, I was personally happy when they not. I wasn't happy, but I was wary when they finally squashed out the competition. Because I used to be a wrestling fan back in the day, and we saw what happened when WCW and ECW went under. It ruined the whole thing. But yeah, we didn't realize how good we had it. How you doing, Connor Sillers? What's good, man? ONE FC is a weird one, man, because they are clearly in trouble. I'm gonna go and watch an event in August. I'm gonna go back to the Lumpini Stadium, and this time I'm gonna turn up on time. I'm not gonna be late like last time. 24 hours late to be specific. I'm gonna be bang on time. Actually, it was more like 12 hours. I was 12 hours late. Bottom line is I missed it. And you know, your boy was planning on shooting his shot on Stamp Fairtex, so I'm gonna have another crack this summer, boys. We're gonna have a go. Perez should get an Oscar for that performance. Perez, who's Perez? Oh, you wait. Oh, you mean for the nut shot? The vomiting. Yeah, do you know what? Yeah, I'm gonna be honest with you, yeah. He was on my parlay, yeah. And I felt like he was gonna lose. So I was quite happy for him to fuck off, to be honest, and take the draw, because that saved my parlay. And I made a few readies on the weekend. I think if he'd stuck it out, I would have been fucked, mate. Frankie, I need your jizz in a milkshake to serve to Sniff. Sniff wouldn't notice. And my jizz is sensational, I've heard. I eat a lot of pineapple. That's a tip that's your Frankie daily love tip. Get the pineapple in you, boys. Apparently, it makes your jizz taste amazing. Have you ever got a scalp massage? Of course I have. I've had everything massaged. And I mean everything. I'm not exaggerating when I say everything. Read into that whatever you like. And like the channel, please. Sorry, like the video and subscribe to the channel. That would be most lovely. I had a really nice like subscriber surge like recently, and it's kind of fallen off a cliff again. I should be friends with the workers at Sniff's local McDonald's so they can spit in his food. Again, I don't think he'd notice. Thing is that we've all had our food spat in at some point in time. Did we ever notice it? Statistically, we must have had it at least once. Taint. Again, you draw your own conclusions. You draw your own conclusions. Same here, but I had Simu on my parlay, so I was pissed. Yeah, Sumu. Here's the thing, yeah. I got lucky. I got very, very, very lucky. The parlay was I had PSG lifting the cup. I was gonna go PSG to win in full time, and I thought, do you know what? Didn't get greedy. I went for them to lift the cup. And obviously, when it gets to penalties, it's anyone's game. But yo, I'm blocked by others. I can't see other cunts' messages. Batman, are you surprised? You fostered your entire thing on being an annoying cunt. You can't be surprised when people block you. Frankie, keep going live. I will try. I will try. I do need to make more of an effort to get back online again. It's pretty disgraceful. It really is. I'm very lazy. Like I've got a very decent subscriber base now. You know, there's 1.7 thousand. I mean, only 20 or 30 of you turn up for every live, which is more than I deserve, by the way. But I do need to make more of an effort for the boys. Batman, switch it to all comments instead of top comments. That could be the problem. Surely, you'd only need one dog. I mean, that would be greedy to get multiple dogs just for. I mean, I don't think dogs would get tired of that practice. But again, I don't know. I'm not speaking from experience here. I don't have any. What kind of fucking live have we? I wanted to start going after Arsenal and talking about Darren Till being juiced. It's all in the title, and you guys just lead me astray. And now we're talking about somebody getting their arse eaten by a dog. We need to do better, people. We need to do better. The subs will go down now because I'm here. Like I said, man, I've already achieved way more than I ever expected to here. So it's all good. Horsepower, aka dog power. Yeah, so the two biggest degenerates in my community are now just going back and forth. Where are the normal people tonight? It's Sunday. Come on, we can get things going. I'm not staying that long tonight as well because I need to get a good night's sleep tonight, leading into tomorrow. I haven't seen Darren Tiller's juice to the gills. He is Connor. He looks great though, doesn't he? He looks shredded. Has anyone seen Arsenal? Bro, I'm so happy. Coming from a Villa fan, the much bigger club. Shout out to you, man. How happy were you when when their demise was confirmed? Do you know what made it all the more sweet musical as well? I fucking hate that cunt Gabriel. I hate him so much. I hate Gabriel with a bloody passion. I've hated him the entire time I've known of his existence. But when he punched a Newcastle player in the face earlier on in the season, when we were 1-0 up, then he didn't get sent off, and then he went on to score the winner. I've wished death on him ever since that moment. So when he stepped up for the penalty and he sent it into fucking orbit, I was ecstatic. I knew it was coming as well. Delighted. I hate Arsenal more than any other club. I mean, Chelsea aren't that far behind. I don't love them. But Arsenal by far, I just can't stand them, mate. So it must feel good for you to have a manager that they threw in the bin that you've just picked up, won a European trophy, and now you've technically, I wouldn't say you've had a better season than them because obviously they won the league. But Gabriel is an absolute weapon. Gabriel's an amazing defender, but he's also a massive cunt. I think Volk 49. By the way, subscribe to Musical MMA immediately. He is the man. And I don't know if Bodak told you, Musical. He came to my house yesterday to finally pick up his costume. And we talked about meeting up this summer. I know that we always talk about doing it. We really need to do it this summer. We have to get the boys together. The Conor McGregor fight might be a little bit of a stretch, but I'll be willing to do a meet up on a weekend. But I think you've got a gig that day, don't you? Maybe we could come down to the gig. I was kind of rooting for Arsenal until I seen Gab step up. Then I switched it real quick. Yeah, you got to follow your own, mate. The thing is, I wanted Crystal Palace to win their little shitty trophy. I wanted you guys to win the Europa League. I'm not a hater. I tend to root for English teams, but that does not apply to Arsenal. I hate them with a fucking passion. Arsenal is my favourite. Get out. I've been defending you, Connor. I've been defending you to the hilt. And now you reveal that you're an Arsenal fan. Friendship over. Yeah, he gave me dates. I'll be available. Perfect. We'll find a weekend one way or another. But I vaguely remember you mentioning that you had like a... Because I was in one of your lives, and I think you mentioned that you have a gig on the same day as the Conor McGregor one. Yes, I did glue it. That's exactly how I did it. I glued pubic hair to my face. That's the only way I was going to get it done. I've been very honest about my mustache and beard growing capabilities. I can't do it. This is the best I can do. And it literally looks like arse fluff. It does. But I'm gonna let it go for a little while. It's the football philosophy. They absolutely stink the place out, man. 25% possession in a final is terrorism. It's fucking terrorism. And they deserved everything that they got. The thing is, a side of me was kind of impressed, that they managed to... Because let's face it, they made PSG look very average in that game. They limited them to very few chances. And it was a horrific game to watch. If Arsenal were ever going to win, that was the way they were going to do it. Take it to penalties and then scumbag it. And the fact that they tried to scumbag it and failed makes it all the more beautiful. But I was actually semi-impressed with the fact that they managed to stifle PSG and made them look not very good. But football won in the end. We won in the end. And I couldn't be happier. It was lower than 24%. I mean, I'm not shocked. I'm not shocked. They are horrendous. They really are. It's bad enough that they're the most boring. I hate Arteta, little jumping bean on the sideline. Fucking can't stand him. I mean, Emery always looks like he's constipated, but I've always rooted for Emery. Like, Emery constantly sits on the touchline like he really wants to take a shit but can't. But he's the better manager. than Arteta, and I will die on that hill. What a guy! How you doing, Dougie's Corner? What's good, man? Rare for one of the kings to turn up. Shout out to you, Doug. Manchester United versus Arsenal. Which club is the gayest? It's 100% Arsenal. The thing is with Man United, yeah, they've fallen off such a cliff over the last decade or so, yeah, that I don't even care anymore. Like every time Man United used to lose, I used to celebrate it, like it was like another birth of my, another birth of my kids. But you can see how shit they've been when now they could lose on a Saturday to whoever, and I barely, barely register an emotion. Don't care. But I cannot wait for Shotgun to turn up because he's going to get it with both barrels. But Arsenal are by far the gayest. They have the worst fan base. They have the worst manager. And like I said, most of my friends are Arsenal fans, and they are all massive cunts. Arsenal are the Dagestan of football. They are. They are. Do you know what somebody else said, Musical, that was really funny? This is the best analogy I've heard yet. Fuck the Dagestan of football. They are the Ian Gary of football. I thought that was a very apt analogy or comparison. But shout out to you, Doug. Great to see you here as always. If you're new to the channel, obviously smash a like and subscribe to Dougie's Corner and Musical MMA. They are both incredible content creators. Far more consistent than I am. They're on a daily basis, pretty much. Musical's actually got talent to him. And Dougie doesn't ramble like a complete retard. And he manages to go on and fucking do his thing every day. And by the way, Dougie, can I say, I'm loving the new, the tier pyramid. I might have to steal that. The problem is I can't be fucked. If I could be bothered, I would steal all your ideas, but I just can't be bothered. Thoughts on Gordon to Barca? Musical, do you know what? I'm very happy about it. I thought we got a good amount of money for him. He's had a horrible season. It's a weird. I've got like ambiguous feelings about it because he had a shocking season last season, even though the numbers don't suggest so. I feel like he's not. I don't think he felt. I feel like he always felt he was bigger than the club. But at the same time, I'm kind of happy for him that he's got his move. He went about it the right way. We got double what we paid for him. I'm happy for him, man. Best of luck, genuinely. I hope he's a success over there. I think part of it as well, yeah, is that because he's not going to a rival club, he's not staying in England. I think it takes the blow away. Like if Isak had left us and we got 125 million and he'd gone to like Barca or Madrid, I'd have been like, fair enough, sayonara. But to have to see his rotten Judas face every day really pisses me off. Yes, they are inbred, Batman, they are. You haven't gone live for 8 days. Okay, I timed that pretty badly, but you're definitely more consistent than me. You rate Gordon. The thing is, yeah, Gordon works hard. He works very hard for the team. And I don't think he's as talented as he thinks he is. But he would turn up for the big games, which I always appreciate. And he gave it a go. He always wanted to play. But we were struggling to get more than 60 minutes out of him in games. Like he was constantly getting dragged off. I think we did very, very well to get 70 million for him. And I just hope I'm glad that the club have done it early and it gives us time to reinvest, you know. So I'm pleased, man. Is there anyone you've got your eyes on for Aston Villa? Because I've heard we're in for very similar players. One in particular that I really want. The completely original and different tier pyramid. It's all yours, man. Mate, I'd love to take it, but you know I ain't putting effort in like that. I'm not downloading pictures and I'm not, you know how my community is toxic as fuck, man. I'll just spend 2.5 hours arguing with them. I mean, Batman and fucking Pib are two of my main guys in here. Imagine arguing a tier list with those cunts. I heard Usyk has retired recently. I don't think he has. I think he's looking at doing 2 more. If he has retired, I'd be delighted. Usyk should retire, man. He's had a wonderful career. I don't want to see him get knocked out. He's such a nice guy and such a good guy. I don't want to see him get slimed. It would hurt me. Genuinely. Also, it was the Macau card was fantastic. There were some really good finishes. Song Yadong got a fucking submission. Who would have seen that? What was really tough to watch, though, is obviously you guys know that my children are all half Chinese. So watching Chinese fighters lose fight after fight after fight after fight was like that Canada card a couple of years ago when every man on the card lost. Luckily, Song Yadong managed to pull it out of his arsehole, and in like dominant fashion as well. But it was bad. How you doing, Sniff? Sniff, I guess your ears were burning because conversation's been about you quite a little bit. Make sure you keep a good eye on your burgers and your drinks from now on, and just look out for any little bits of spittle in there. MMA China fell off. I don't think the thing is here that the majority of Chinese fighters that were on the card were either fighters that shouldn't have even been there, that were given the chances when they shouldn't be, or they're fighters that have kind of fallen off. You know, but Song Yadong got the job done. And, you know, Song Yadong's a very solid performer. He's one of those guys that could have, you know, Sean O'Malley result goes his way, close fight. He could be looking at a title fight. But good to see you, though, Sniff. Come on, I'm not that bad. You are that bad. You are that bad. We love you, but you are that bad. Why is this Apex card actually good? You mean the next one? I don't even know what's next. I'm not really in the UFC that much anymore. I don't really give a fuck. Chinese lack the testosterone. Batman, you're incorrect about that, man. I used to live there, yeah, and China actually has tall people that are chads. They can't really fight. Like, they're every man on the street. They ain't really built like that. Aussie fighters are the best. Nah, there's been a little bit of a fall off as well. I know that Saokild's doing quite well. And what's his name? Well, MMA China was basically up when Song Yadong was on the rise and Zhang Weili. That's basically it. Don't get me wrong. Submitting Figueiredo is a very nice way to beat him because he's quite a hard guy to submit. But I never thought Figueiredo was that good, especially not at bantamweight. I've never really rated him. You know, I feel like he's an easy win at this stage, and Song Yadong proved that. Certainly at bantamweight, I don't think he's good enough. No, I would like if China buys the UFC. That you mean the country? The country just buying the UFC. Ash, how you doing, by the way, bro? Sorry, I saw you in here a minute ago and I didn't say hi. Sorry, man. I got sidetracked. Hope you're well. Chinese are good at sports, but they're kind of bad at combat sports. Chinese are very, very bad at team sports. They are terrible at team sports. Anything where you have to work together, the Chinese are terrible at. But individual sports, they always rise to the top. There will be more Chinese champions, guaranteed, because MMA is already embedded in there, and there are billions of those cunts. So China will have another UFC champion. It's the same with anything. It's like, have you seen the Olympics, man? They fucking dominate. Yep, Frankie, I was going to put like 500 on Menefield, and my friends talked me out of it. Bruv, Menefield was the pick. The Chinese guy got slimed by Johnny Walker, like, horribly. The Menefield pick was there. If you'd spoken to me, I would have advised you to do the same. I almost put the Chinese guy on my parlay, and I was like, what am I thinking? He's shit. He's one of those guys who, as the phrase goes, he's a very good hammer, but a terrible nail. As soon as he gets clipped, he's fucked. Pandemic Figgy was something else. Yeah, he did go on a little bit of a run, but I think he had some favorable matchups in there as well. Like, I'll always love his 4 fights with Brandon Moreno. I mean, that was crazy. But I always thought Brandon Moreno was the superior fighter, and that proved to be the case, which is why I always felt that Figgy would struggle when he went up to bantamweight. And he's done a lot better than I thought he would. So fair play to him. Sniff, whoever advised you against doing that, you need to murder them immediately. Or go get your money. Isn't it ironic that communists are supposed to work together and Chinese people suck at team sports? Bruv, it's beyond ironic. And I say this out of love. I love China. I do. I genuinely do. I lived there for years. I was with somebody who was Chinese, had kids with them. Do you know what I mean? I love China as a nation. I would love to go back there one day and live there. but they do not know how to work together at all. But you put them in an individual sport where there's competition and they need to rise to the top, they will do anything to win within the rules. They're not Russia, you know? So, yeah. Yeah, so like I said, a lot happened over the weekend. MMA China was up before Izzy got dismantled by Strickland. I forgot he was a China representative. The little beghead cuck. But no, who was the other Aussie fighter on the card? Because I had him on my parlay as well. I know it wasn't the hardest fight in the world. Who was it again? Cody Haddon. Cody Haddon looks like he might be a problem. He looked very good. The Chinese evolved from praying mantises. This is why they use chopsticks. I don't know why I'm smiling. That is fucked up, sir. Half my kids are Chinese. Frankie, did you see the fights? I watched the entire UFC card outside of 1 or 2 fights. Nah, Steve Erceg is shit. I'm sorry, he is. I know he had a good win in his last one, but who cares? Does China claim Lona Kavanagh? We should. We should, but nah, he's basically British now. Have you heard him talk? Jake fucking Matthews. Oh yeah, I actually missed the Jake Matthews fight. Did he win? I'm assuming he did. Decision, yeah? Yeah, decision. Carlston Harris is actually not too bad. What the fight that I was really happy with was Kai Asakura. I really want to see Kai Asakura do well. Haddon was one of the performances of the card for me. I thought he was fantastic. How's it going, mate? Looking about 23 with that facial hair. Bro, I've just decided, yeah, I'm just going to let it grow. I'm going to see how far it can go. I'm going to give it like 9 months and see how it can go. Although I'm saying that now, yeah, I'm probably going to lose patience and then, because it is annoying me already. Who won disgracefully? Cheddar? Cheddar, did you make any money on the weekend as well? I need to start following Cheddar's bets because he's on a little bit of a fucking hot streak. Izzy is a Nigerian-born, New Zealand-living, American-sounding, Chinese-claiming, sick guy with an... Don't forget the dog whisperer as well. He could have easily KO'd him for 2 rounds and decided to jiu-jitsu instead. Wait, who won? Who are we talking about? Do you mean Jake Matthews? Jake Matthews is good, but there's a ceiling. There's a ceiling for Jake Matthews. Menafil JPL, how you doing, man? JPL, I forgot to do my silk pajamas pick, you know. I'm fucking embarrassed. I think I've forgotten it 2 weeks in a row. So I'm gonna have to dig it out in the bag. But you saw last time, yeah, I did one bet last week and ended up, or one stake, sorry, and ended up finishing like 4th. So that has to be the way to go for me. No, the thing is, Dougie, I know what you're saying about Cheddar, yeah, but the thing is of Cheddar, yeah, Cheddar goes on like horrific losing streaks where he loses his shirt, yeah, but then eventually he's like me, he's streaky. He then goes on a fat winning streak. So when Cheddarhead starts talking about winning, you've got to jump on for as long as you can. Yo, Frankie, you look young, but I think it's time to shave your head. Either that or wear a wave cap like me. It's not a bad suggestion, but I don't think I could get away with that. I don't think I could pull that off like you do. I would have made money if it wasn't for Jake's giant wet pussy. Did you have him by finish? Cheddar, I've told you about prop betting, man. You need to get away from that. Prop betting is not the one. I know it boosts the odds and that, and it makes it look all juicy. Don't do it, mate. You'd make more money investing in Iranian stock futures. Cheddarhead, are you going to have that? You're going to take that, mate? I mean, he's got a point. How you doing, Ismail Saar? Just a reminder, if you are new here, like and subscribe. And if you do not know Dougie's Corner and you want to go to a real MMA channel, go to Dougie's Corner. Subscribe to him immediately. What a bloke. What a top bloke. That wasn't an Australian accent. I don't know what that was. It was something. But no, I'm sorry you didn't make any money this time around, Cheds. You know, You are a very streaky character indeed. I've seen, mate, one and done. You could have had free, bruv. I've come ball achingly close so many times. So many times I've fumbled it. But I'm gonna get back on it again. Prop betting is where bookies make their money 100%. It doesn't, especially if you're prop betting and you're doing parlays. If you do parlays and you do a whole load of prop bets, you're not making shit. I would love to see people show me evidence of like a couple of leg parlays where they've done props and they've worked out. I don't believe they exist. They charge 15% margin on props. Interesting. I was not aware of that. But I think it's just statistically, it just doesn't happen. You know, there's a reason why they pay so well, or the odds appear to be so good, you know. Who is the guy you hate the most in the current UFC roster? Wow. Well, you know, I hate Bilal Muhammad, I hate Ian Gary, I hate Hamzat Chimaev. It's tough, man. Who really makes my skin crawl every time I see them? The thing is, everyone that I hate, they've kind of started losing. So I don't really care anymore. John Jones, you know, but he's not relevant really anymore. And he's kind of become more likable after his whole Russian tough enough stuff with Daniel Cormier. Why did I say tough enough? I meant tough. Russian tough. Invest in optogenetics. Trust me, I have no idea what that is, but I will look into it. So, Mr. Olympia, to answer your question, there's nobody that really stands out to me. Probably Ian Gary, just because, you know, he's Irish and he's embarrassing, not just men everywhere, but my nation. And I can't really have that. I don't really hate Cyril Gane as well, because I'm not that much of a Tom Aspinall fan. Don't care. John Jones is out of the sport. He doesn't really bother me anymore. I can hate Cyril Gane if you want. I mean, wait, what? I didn't realize Lona was also half Irish. He may actually be Frankie's long-lost son. Bruv, the way I throw that dick around, it wouldn't be surprising. Lona Kavanagh I have to find a way of making him my favorite fighter. Half Irish and half Chinese. He kind of looks a little bit like me as well. I'm obviously more handsome. But he can probably grow a better beard. You know what? We need to see him grow a beard or a lack of beard to confirm if it's worth putting in a DNA test or not. I can't believe I'm rooting for Islam to be Ian Gary. That's how much of a cunt Ian is. Bro, imagine it. I might be rooting for Ian Gary as well. I might be. I don't like Justin Gaethje as well. I know that sounds like a strange one. I don't like Justin Gaethje. Do you know what got me about Justin Gaethje? This is going to seem like a weird one, because it does involve a little bit of Conor McGregor nut riding. But when he called Conor McGregor a bad father, I kind of just went completely off him. Bro, you the sidekick of that bald guy who makes meth. You mean Jesse Pinkman? The Jesse Pinkman comparisons have been there in the past, I'm not going to lie. I do look like a little bit of a meth tweener. I've got to give it to you. You've got me on that one, bro. You nailed it. I hate Aiden Eggers. Big hog in your face. I don't know who you are, but the fact that you're calling me immediately by name is very concerning. How are you doing, big hog in your face? Are you Pib? Is this a Pibble? I hate Alden Eggers. Who is Alden Eggers? Oh, no. I mean, I do hate his manager as well, and that's another reason to pile on. You're 100% right. But no, I mean, I hate Ali Abdulaziz in a whole different way. I'm bored. Let's cook, bro. Bro, it happens to the best of us. Make fun of me all you want. I'm 41 years old, lads. A lot of you in here are younger men. You're going to have your day as well when your hair falls out your head. I'm still doing all right. There's no clear bald patches. I'm going to give you the whole side profile, everything. The hair is still on the head. The flights to Turkey have not yet been booked. Sniff keeps banning you. Well, you did keep talking shit, and he is an alt, so I'm not condoning it, but you're kind of bringing it on yourself. Jesse Pinkman, exactly. Ole, ole, ole. Arsenal bottle it again. Vitinha will win the Ballon d'Or if Portugal win the World Cup. I don't think he will, you know. I mean, it would be nice for somebody different to win it. It should definitely be a PSG player, but I don't think the World Cup really factors into it. Because history will tell you that they haven't really considered international football as the providing factor. Because Ronaldo and Messi used to sweep up Ballon d'Ors every year, and they were both horrific internationally for a long time. I can't stop him. I'm not gonna unmod him because he's been with me from the start. Just stop going at him and just make friends, man. It's not that hard to do. Stop being a cock. Bro's wife cut bro's hair. That's why he looks young. Nah, bro. I get my hair cut in a. I told you I get my hair cut in a fucking shed by a little Chinese dude. Have you seen the White House Arena? I haven't. I've seen it in the process of being built, but I haven't seen the final thing. It looks like it's going to be good. You look younger, brother. 41. Yeah, I'm 41. I was born in 1984. 1984, man. I'm an old, disgusting cunt, mate. It is what it is. Hang on a second. Well, I don't know why I added disgusting cunt on there, but it's kind of true. I think you're lucky, Pib, that Sniff has probably gone on to do better things with his day. Because you'd be getting munted to the moon every time you open your mouth. Vitinha changed PFG to think that Vitinha was at Wolves a couple of years ago and what he's gone on to. That PSG team is amazing. They looked like soggy puppets yesterday, though. They really did. And I've got to give, as much as I hate Arsenal, yeah, I've got to give them credit for actually stifling a very good side because they made PSG look very average. 1984, George Orwell. Frankie's birth stopped Big Brother from taking over the world. Do you know what, Ash, yeah? George Orwell was one of my favorite authors, yeah, but I fucking hate 1984. I don't know if you've ever read it. Fuck me, it's painful to read. Frankie, would you ever go on an MMA game show hosted by the producer of Mortal Kombat? Yeah, I probably would. I'm quite shy though in public. I don't really like a lot of attention on me. I've done a couple of MMA quizzes in the past, and I've done pretty well. So my MMA knowledge is actually decent. I've never won a quiz, but I've come pretty close. I don't really embarrass myself. Have you saw that viral Buffalo Donald Trump? I haven't. I have not seen that. I tend to avoid Pip, I can see what you're saying, by the way. I'm just not going to bother to respond to it. I understand you're having one of your little fucking period crash outs again. You know where the door is, bro. You know I love you, but you bring it on yourself with your bullshit. This has nothing to do with Sniff, really. If you're coming in calling the guy a pedo and saying you raped his family and he's a mod, of course he's going to kick you out. You're not helping yourself. And like I said, I'm not unmodding somebody that's been with me since the beginning. Would you meet Tom Aspinall in the UK? I mean, if I didn't have to put any effort in, if he was round the corner, I would. I'd stop by. Yo, Frankie, I would like to support your channel. Can you mod me as well? I'm kind of done with the modding, you know, to be honest. Because I had a little bit of a problem where my mods kept kicking people out and banning them. So I kind of lost control of the channel a little bit. But I might have to do what Dougie did and just unmod everyone. Bro, English will not win anything. No, they won't. They're going to embarrass themselves in the World Cup. They won't get past the quarterfinals. Yo, Frankie, I recommend modding Paul's Balls 69. Is Paul's Balls 69 you, Sniff, by any chance? But as I said, you can call me a cuck or whatever. I don't give a fuck. Sniff's my boy, and I'm not unmodding him. He's one of the few people in here that's allowed to go reckless. And Pib, you know I love you, man, but seriously, shut the fuck up. But yeah, I don't even, again, with the World Cup here, I don't even care. I genuinely don't. I might watch a couple games, but I'm not that invested. Frankie, for someone just started their channel, would you recommend live streaming before 100 subs? Got 40, so do you know what? If guys, can you subscribe to the Degenerate MMA Fan? I'm really sorry, man. I forgot that you had a channel. I believe I'm subscribed myself. Is that correct? Let me just double check to make sure that I am. I'm pretty sure that I am. I will throw your channel up as well, just to put, because like I said, we always support everyone within this community. I think it's very important that we all do so. Hang on a second. Let me just open your channel up here. I think I am subscribed. Let me just throw up your channel again. Guys, if you wouldn't mind supporting this bro here, chuck him a couple of subs. And yes, to answer your question, yes, I think you should. The thing is, yeah, like my lives mostly suck. They genuinely do. They're very hit and miss. It very much depends on the community. But I will say this, yeah, it's the best thing that I ever did. The first thing was going on camera, which I never thought I was going to do, because I wanted to keep my private life and my online life separate. But I'm glad I started doing that. And then secondly, going live, because it allows you to connect with your audience, even degenerate, annoying cunts like Pib. It gives you a chance to really communicate with people, to, you know, to grow a sense of community. But just expect the, you know, there's going to be a few rough rides out there. Sometimes people turn up and they are genuinely annoying bellends, but you just have to put up with it. So yeah, please subscribe to the Degenerate MMA Fan. I'm sure he'd appreciate the sub. Genuine. And I'd appreciate if you did it for him as well, because it's, like I said, it's very important. Hang on a second. It's very, very important to show love within a community. It's very hard starting out on YouTube. So yeah, show motherfucker some love. I'm a great the chat. Pib, you're less confrontational, yeah, when you are driving down the motorway. This is like the 50th time you threatened to unsubscribe to me, bro. I'd be very sad to see you leave, but it is what it is. I will not be called a cuck. I will not be Ian Garried in my own channel. How dare you? I'll see you next time. You know you can't leave. Your lives need to be about something. Clip your lives into shorts, reply to every comment earlier on, and make everyone feel heard. That is very, very good advice. See, that's good advice from a real streamer. Because having a focus for your streams, I try to do that, to be honest. And then what ends up happening is I end up talking about assholes for an hour and a half. Or talking about all the pussy that I do not get in Thailand. Do you know what I'm saying? That's what ends up happening. And I do kind of bring it on myself. It is what it is. But often, like I said, your community does very much depend, or your lives do very much depend. Does very much depend on what your community is like and how they interact with you and how you interact with them. The thing is, it's a very hard thing to fake. You either care about your community or you don't. You either have time for people that come in and you talk to them, or you don't. It's something that's very, very hard to engineer, you know? Thanks, Frankie. I really appreciate your realness. And thanks for being the man and always being super fast to respond. So thank you so much. Brother, it's a pleasure. And keep doing what you're doing. Like I said, it starts out really slow. I mean, I've been doing YouTube for nearly 3 years now, and I haven't even hit 2,000 subs, but I love coming on here and I love talking to people. So whatever it is you're doing, whatever reason you're doing it for, just keep plugging away, mate. How you doing, Fug Life? What's good, man? All right, I'm not gonna start getting in between Sniff and Pib. You do your own thing, yeah. I'm not getting involved. I'm not. I don't have a dog in this fight. Sniff. I don't have a dog in this fight. Frankie, when Sergei finishes in the first round, everyone appreciates him, but when I do it, she gets angry. There's something in there that I'm clearly missing. I mean, the Sergei Pavlovich pick was clear as crystal as well, because his opponent is a fat slob. He looks like a mess. So that wasn't. He was definitely in my He was definitely in my parlay as well. No brainer, to be perfectly honest. Got someone messaging me if I have Instagram. I don't use Instagram. That shit is gay. I'm not an Instagram guy at all. But this is another thing as well, yeah. I don't like beef in my chat because it just descends into stupidity. My channel was like stuck with this shit for months, and it was honestly, I almost quit. Because it was like, oh, Sergey. Damn it. I should have seen that one coming. Especially me. One of the most closeted YouTubers on the planet. I'm not a YouTuber. Fudge. It's all going downhill. Oh, the country Niger. We've got somebody from Niger in here. That's really nice. You rep your country, sir. How's it going, Lane? Lane, did you make money off PSG? I'm gonna assume that you did. I'm gonna assume you made a pretty penny off that. I made a little bit on it as well, not too much, because I was genuinely worried. I'm not gonna lie. I can say that now that it's over. But Elaine, I'm very, very good. I've had a decent week. I'm ready to go back to work tomorrow, kind of. So yeah, I'm looking. Wow, Pib is beefing with everyone in chat. How you doing, Cross? What's good, man? Cross, what? I'm glad that you've turned up, man. So glad that the Spurs did it. I didn't manage to catch any more of the lives because basketball was on at an ungodly hour for me. But thank fucking God the Spurs got it done. I can't stand the Oklahoma City Thunder. And I'm so glad to see that little flopper got exactly what he deserves. Fuck that cunt. And what a great final we've got. For those of you who are basketball fans, which I'm assuming is virtually none of you, the Spurs will be playing the New York Knicks. And what a great fucking final that's going to be. Frankie, this is why you need a pyramid to cut to you when chat goes off the rails. The thing is, yeah, you're right, yeah. But the thing is, I haven't been taking YouTube seriously for a while now. I probably never did, if we're being honest. But less so now. I put less and less time into it. My channel's been a little bit of a joke for a while. And I'll be the first one to admit it. It's been kind of shitty. But I just don't have the time anymore. And I need to find like a sustained period of like, you know, doing things the right way. And I genuinely would have to find something that isn't straight up stealing, because it is gross. I joke about stealing, but I wouldn't do it. You were at the thing is, yeah, I had to, unfortunately, Cross it. I had to watch the highlights. And what I was going to do, yeah, I was going to put a double of Wemby and Spurs to win. And I got sidetracked and ended up not putting the bet on. So obviously when I woke up in the morning and saw that it had happened, I was pretty irritated. But I'm just happy the Spurs got through. Like I said, football won last night when Arsenal lost, and basketball won last night when OKC lost. And I love Wembanyama. I think he's great. I love how intense he is. I kind of want New York to win because I think they will get carried away and burn their own city to the ground. And that might be fun to see. Part of my sick, like, kind of, and I'm saying that, and my daughter lives in New York. Frankie, it's been forever. Ricky, it's been forever, man. How are you? It has been forever. Good to see you, bro. Little reminder, subscribe to Dougie and subscribe to this guy. Get him up to 50 subs and he'll start going live. Shout out to my boy here. But I've been good, Ricky, man. Really good. I've been really busy the last couple of weeks. Just been, grinding, doing my thing, spending time with my family, which has been really nice. Growing this really terrible beard, which you can see. I mean, you can't really see it. Wemby trying to turn the NBA into UFC throwing elbows, and I'm all here for it, Lane. I'm all here for it. The thing is, yeah, it's a great position for me because those are the two teams that I wanted to emerge. It was the final that I was dreaming of at the beginning of it. So I kind of feel like I'm going to be happy either way. Part of me kind of wants to see New York win it because they haven't won it since like the 70s, if I remember correctly. So I don't know, man. I'd really like to see New York get it over the line. And I just want to see how crazy the celebrations would be. Because those fans have been starved of any kind of success in decades. I mean, it's been 50 years since they won a title. So it'd be great to see New York win it. And I used to be terrorized by the Spurs when I was a Warriors fan. I used to hate coming up against them because they were always a tough out. The Spurs were. But I love Tim Duncan. I'm kind of going on a rant now. But great final, and I'm looking forward to seeing how it goes. Genuinely. Part of me wants the Knicks to win, I think. Frankie growing a beard so he can change his identity and settle amongst the femboys in Thailand. Bro, I'd need about 50 years to grow. Whoever said it earlier on, 41, and if I can't grow a beard now, I'm never going to be able to, is 100% correct. But I just felt like doing something a little bit new, you know? Pib, I'm not reading that. You're asking for trouble. I'm surprised somebody hasn't kicked you out already. You're making it very hard for me to defend you when you behave like this, to be honest. And you know I've got time for you. But I don't want this in my chat. I've told you multiple times. Because it fucks with my flow as well. I just want to have a good time in here and have a nice community. I don't want cunts turning up and talking shit. And right now, like, quite often you're my type of cunt. Right now, you're not being my type of cunt. You're just being a cunt. So cut it out, bruv. But yeah, I'm very much looking forward to it. The thing is, yes, like I said, I've gone off basketball for a little while, and this series has got me back into it. Or sorry, the Spurs being in it has got me back into it, and New York to an extent. My only worry for New York is they've had such an easy ride of it. Other than the 2 games they lost against was it Atlanta? Other than those 2 games, they've looked fucking incredible. They've literally swept their way to the finals. And the Spurs are going to be very tough, so it might take them a little while. Is boxing death? What do you mean by that? All right, fine, you win. You win. Can we stop now? Can we fucking stop it? Because I'm just going to fuck off in a minute. Because I wasn't planning on hanging around here too much longer anyway, but shit like this is just ruining my vibe. They're both Abramovich and Ancelotti. Yeah, I don't know what problem Pib's got with you, Dougie. You're usually the most likable guy on the space. I think Pib's just having a bad day. I think it's his time of the month. Oh. So yeah, just calm down, man. Calm down. I don't even know what the next UFC card is. Do you know what, though? I tell you what, Dougie, I am going to take your advice. Oh, it's Mohammed versus Bonfim. I couldn't give less of a fuck about that one. What city of England would you recommend a tourist to visit? It's a tough one, you know. They're all shitholes. I would say somewhere quaint, like Cornwall. You know, near the coast. I'd say somewhere like that. Most of the cities are shite. I do quite like Manchester. If you want to go to a major city, Frankie, did you watch the Road to UFC? Bro, I never even know when it's on. Was the last one good? They don't really promote Road to UFC over in the UK. Yeah, slap that like button. We're up to 16 now, which is obviously 16 more than I observed. What did you think of the 2 nights? I didn't see Road to UFC. I haven't watched a single season of it. I'm barely a fan of the sport anymore. All I do is complain about it constantly. I bitch and I moan. Birmingham is a shithole. An absolute shithole. It is. London's become a shithole, but if you've never been there, you'll get a kick out of it. I lived there all my life, so I'm kind of over it. But another shithole. But yeah, I'll go to somewhere with a bit of culture, like York or Cambridge or Oxford, somewhere like that. Do I bet on Gaethje winning KO in round 1 or 2? No. No, you don't. He's gonna die in there. I've heard that London and Birmingham are full of Pakis and Indians. Yeah, I said the P word. Fuck it. I'm feeling touched right now, so I don't even care. Yes, it is. Do you like football? I love football. I grew up playing it. I was at like semi-pro level, and then when I tried to get into the pro ranks, I got absolutely dominated. So I gave up like a little bitch and started smoking weed. True story. I got scouted by, maybe this is why I hate Arsenal so much. I got scouted by Arsenal, yeah, and I went to some trials, and I was the worst player there, hands down. And I started smoking weed shortly after that. Gaethje is gonna slime out that little brown guy easily. What do you mean USA is dominating in soccer? Your league is an embarrassment. I mean, it's way better than it used to be, but it's still an embarrassment. Frankie, name your top 10 porn stars. I genuinely couldn't name one. I'm not a porn guy. And I'm not saying that because I'm moral. It's just not what I enjoy. I've never really enjoyed it. I just rather dabble with real women. Yeah, I was scouted by Arsenal when I was like 14. But when I say scouted, I was invited to a trial, and it was just embarrassing. Fucking embarrassing. And I literally started smoking weed maybe 3 or 4 months later. I mean, I still played football up until when I was 18, but I was one of those kids here who in Sunday league, I was really good. I was better than everyone in Sunday league. But as soon as I got to guys that could actually ball, USA are beating Senegal 2-0. So what? There are actually American football fans that think that America are dark horses to win the World Cup. Don't tell me you think the same, Lane. The only reason why I think USA might do quite well, ref bias, obviously. It's your 250th year of independence, so that could be a little bit, dodgy on your side. You might do like a South Africa, or to a lesser extent, a Korea, who are actually quite good. Football is very gay for a man to play. It's not, man. Football's really fun to play, man. It's such a fun sport to play. As team sports go, there's no better than it to play, genuinely. And I've played them all. USA is beating Brazil 5-0 in the final. Brazil are getting nowhere. Brazil's national team are horrible. The only reason they'll get to like the quarters, which I think will be their peak, their ceiling, is because America's obviously going to be fucking hot. That's why I personally think Spain are going to win it. I think Spain or Portugal, because France have the best squad, but I think Spain are the best equipped to deal with the climate out of the European teams. Germany aren't good enough either. Germany's football team is not well-rounded enough. I've got to say, they've fallen off a cliff. Genuinely. I think it will be, I'm picking Spain to get it done. I think it will be Spain. Or I mean, let's face it, France is basically Africa FC. Let's be honest. So France might do it. They certainly got players with the right skin tone, but whether or not they can hack it, just because you're black doesn't mean you can handle the heat. So I don't know. But I'll go France or Spain. Brazil are terrible. They're not going to get it done. Argentina their squad is too aged. I'm not sure if Messi got into the squad or not. I'm assuming that he did. But no, they haven't got a good enough squad. I'm going to go with Spain. That could happen, Cheds. Neymar already injured. The thing is, yeah, Neymar shouldn't even be starting. Genuinely. Neymar shouldn't be starting. He barely made the squad. Like, there was a lot of talk beforehand that he might not even make it. Neymar, for me, is one of the most underwhelming footballers of all time. Like, he underachieved so horribly in his career. Africa FC is true, man. It's true. France is Africa FC. You think Spain has a chance in hell to beat the USA? I mean, they've got a slim chance. Who are your ballers in America? Fucking Perisic. He's probably the only American footballer I can name. And he is so mid, it's unbelievable. Were you a defender or an attacker in your football team? I was a left back. So I was a defender. I was a cruncher with really good passing. I could pass really well. And I was a little pit bull on the pitch. Great stamina. Fortunately, now fortunately or unfortunately, now the ladies can only benefit from that. But it is what it is. So yeah, I was a defender. I was a left back. I started out as a midfielder. So when I was really young, I used to be like a box playing midfielder. So I'd spray passes around. And then I kind of got into the habit of like crunching motherfuckers. So I decided to go to the wings. And yeah, did really well there. But I was never like, there was a time when I believed I was good enough to go pro until I was around other pros. I'm 5'7". I'm 5'7". That might have been part of the problem. My friend Giuliano scored the most goals in New York history. That's amazing, bro. And there's records of that out there, so it must be true. Of course, Messi is in the squad. First teams have a full squad. He was probably the first name on the team sheet. As long as Messi wants to turn up, you bring him whether or not he's starting or not, whether he's washed or not. You don't not bring Messi. You find a place for him in that squad. Greatest footballer of all time. Lionel Messi. Greatest. Messi is 5'7". And you know what? Yeah, they gave him growth hormones as well. So he would have been about 5'1" if they didn't fuck with him. If you look into it, Lane, yeah, Barcelona pumped him full of drugs when he was a kid. There's a big like hush-hush scandal about it. He had like growth hormones. And he's still a fucking midget. But no, I don't think Argentina will be strong enough to do anything. I think they'll do all right. I think, again, similar to Brazil, quarters, maybe semis at a push, but they're not winning it. It will be a European team. It will be a European team. France or Spain are like the smart choices. And I know that people seem to... I don't know if it was steroids. It could have been steroids. But they gave him something. They gave him some weird shit to make him grow. Genuinely. I'm not even like making fun of him. Do you know Thomas Muller was fucking sensational. What a baller he was. Shout out to Thomas Muller. He was cutthroat. Like he was when he was in Germany were just terrifying. So efficient. I hate to admit it, but Portugal has a good shot. Portugal have one of the deepest squads. But they're a bit like England. They've always got good name value, but they never put it together. They have managed to win a Euros, but that's about it. They never do well in the World Cup. They're a bit like Holland, like they always underachieve. This could be the time when they do it. Every dog's got to have his day. And again, I think the climate could suit them. I think Spain are better, though. I think Spain have a phenomenal squad as well. Portugal, I would say, are like slight outsiders. I'd say they're probably third favorite. So if you believe that Portugal are going to win, it might be worth sticking a few quid on them, because you'll get good odds on Portugal winning it. Very good odds. And they could do it. I personally wouldn't, but this might be the tournament to do it. As long as the only problem that Portugal have got is their manager is an absolute scrub. They've got a guy called Roberto Martinez. He's fucking dreadful. And he sucks Ronaldo off like nobody I've ever seen. So Ronaldo will probably be starting. And he shouldn't even be going. Not with that squad. You got to put Francis Ngannou in the World Cup French team as a defender. Again, a load of boat, like off the boat. Which football club is your number one? I'm a Newcastle United fan. I'm embarrassed to say that, but it's true. I've supported them since I was 10 years old. And the annoying thing is, I started out as a Liverpool fan because my dad was kind of a Liverpool fan, or he claimed to be. And I jumped ship as soon as I started watching football. Also, Haaland to win the Golden Boot. It's not a bad shout. The only problem with Haaland is, look at him, He looks like a Viking, It's going to be fucking hot out there. I don't think he's going to climb. I don't think he's going to stick to the climate all that well. I think he's going to struggle. And Norway are shit. It's a different kettle of fish. But you never know. If they could make like a quarterfinal run, I don't know who's in Norway's group. It might not be a bad shout. Because Golden Boot winners usually only get between 5 to 7 goals a tournament. Haaland, if he gets to the quarterfinals, could easily hit that marker. Easily. More than likely, though, I would say Mbappe is probably going to win the Golden Boot. Because he's a greedy little cunt. And France are actually good. So if you're going to put your money on somebody, I'd probably put it on Mbappe. Who is probably only going to win World Cups for his entire career. Fug Life, who do you support, by the way? I don't know if I've asked you this before. I might have done. I might have done, yeah. But now the World Cup's look. I guarantee you as well, there's going to be a lot of empty stadiums at the World Cup. I think what they need to do, is they need to back down and drop the ticket prices. Because I've heard mad things like a group stage game for some random nation that nobody gives a fuck about is all $800. No one's paying that. It's crazy. Mbappe didn't even play yesterday. Mbappe plays for Real Madrid, mate. He doesn't play for PSG. He left PSG 2 years ago. He scored as many goals as Cristiano Ronaldo did in his peak season. They have dropped the ticket prices, but I've heard they've dropped it by like 20%, but it's already 1,000% higher than it should be, How much can you get a standard ticket for these days? Really, realistically, the World Cup's supposed to be for everyone. They're gonna kill the sport, man, if they do this. Genuinely. It's gonna look embarrassing with all those empty stadiums. I mean, a lot of people are gonna watch it on TV, but you need atmosphere. Football needs that. Need a bit of atmosphere, But I heard the hotel prices and the ticket prices, as you've alluded to, have been extortionate. Like, I mean, year's salary if your nation goes from the beginning to the end. People can't afford that. It's that simple. I mean, you'd have to twist my arm to get me to go there for free, let alone what they're paying. I'm taking my dad to a game on the 15th for his birthday. See what I mean? Only the elite can watch it. Elite rich cunts like Cheddarhead. Cheddar, how much did you pay? Obviously, your dad isn't watching this, so you can spill the beans. How much did you shell out, and for what game? Waiting for the prices to drop. Oh, so you haven't bought it quite yet. I would hold out. It's not going to sell out. It won't. It will not. The reason why football is such a popular sport is because it's an everyman sport. It's the kind of sport where all you need is enough money to get a football, and you can go out there and get it done. You're going to Brazil versus Scotland. That will be an atmosphere. Scottish fans are fucking lunatics. And Scotland might actually have a chance in that game. I'm going to say this now, yeah. I reckon Scotland get a draw. Brazil are going to struggle to get out of that group. They're shit. And some of my boys play for Brazil. It's Iran versus New Zealand. I might get bombed on. I mean, you could do. You could do. That is that Brazil versus Scotland is a great game. But New Zealand versus Iran, I mean, talking about irrelevant games that nobody gives a fuck about, that is one of them. But I'm assuming that it's in your area, and it's probably more cost effective, which is why you've chosen that one. It will be, how the fuck did Iran get to the World Cup again? They just let anyone in these days. And yet Ireland still can't make it. Fucking embarrassing. Scotland is low tier, no hate. But they're one of those nations, yeah, they've got fight in them. And Brazil are not what they used to be. So I can see, I reckon that will be a draw. Genuinely. I think Scotland will give them a tough game. Is it true? Bye-bye. Who's that? Bibby. Who the fuck's that? I'm definitely pronouncing that wrong. Trump will be at the game. They have fumbled this so badly. 48 teams this year and Italy still didn't make it. Do you know what? Yeah, I was in Manila when Italy got knocked out. And I was hanging out at the bar with this Italian guy and he was fucking devastated. They really love their football. Netanyahu. Oh, Netanyahu. Yeah, he's definitely going to pull up. The less said about that, the better. But no, the World Cup is going to be terrible. The thing is, it's football, and it will be fun to some extent. And there'll be plenty of gambling opportunities. I think Cheddar and Lane are going to be in their element. But in terms of, I think the atmosphere is going to very much be ruined. I think America games will do quite well, which could actually be in your favor. You'll get good atmospheres for that. But I don't know. You got a very, very easy group. So you might actually have a chance of weaseling your way through. They said he's going to be there at UFC. Oh, is he? That would be a terrible idea for so many reasons. Those scumbags, Yahoo and Donald Donkey. World Cup is always fun. The thing is, I always complain about it because I'm kind of resentful of international football because it gets in the way of club football over here. And most of the games that they show internationally are meaningless. Like 75% of international games in Europe are fucking pointless. FIFA sucks and crooked as hell, but they're a terrible organization. They are criminals. FIFA are. And football is such an easy game to not fumble. And they manage to do it every time. It's really embarrassing. The biggest it's soccer and it's American rugby. I'm not calling it the S word. It will always be football. And the thing is, you're going to jump on board eventually as well, because American football, the real American football, is going to be huge. In the next 10 years, the American League will be up there. It's inevitable. Because your whole nation's on board now, and there's just so many of you. And you spend money so stupidly. Arsenal got robbed so badly. No, they didn't. They should have given a penalty for Saka's handball. They should have disallowed their goal because the through ball came off a handball. Their penalty that they shouldn't have gotten was correct, the correct decision. And they scumbagged the all game and did absolutely nothing. I will say, taking my hate and hat off for a second, Arsenal defended brilliantly yesterday. Brilliantly. But that's it. It's officially called soccer when the World Cup starts. Soccer and cleats, soccer and cleats. I'm never going to get on board with this. I can't do it. I cannot do it. Just don't ruin the game, lads, yeah? If anyone could kill the sport, it would be Americans. It would. It's Major League, not American League. That's different. All right, it's Major League Soccer, I get it, but it's still I mean to be fair to you, you've progressed much faster than I ever expected you to. You're like in the top 10 leagues now, which I know sounds like a slap in the face, but it's true. You were nowhere near that 10 years ago. So give it another 10, 20 years. You should crack into the top 5. And the thing is, it's going to be good for football. Halal Ball won yesterday. Amir, I'm delighted as anybody else. I desperately needed Arsenal to lose, and they did not get robbed. Everything went their way. They got all the decisions their way. They got all the luck their way, and they still couldn't pull it out of the bag. I, for one, am fucking delighted. There is no major in UFC about football. The thing is, I've got to be honest with you, Amir, yeah? They are a joke. They're still a joke, but I've got to say, it's much better than it used to be. They've actually got atmospheres in their stadium now. And they've got Messi. I know it's a washed Messi, but it's still Messi. A washed Messi is still better than 90% of footballers right now. Just is. But yeah, the MLS is it's coming up, and it will get there eventually. And part of the reason I believe it will is because obviously Americans own a lot of major clubs in Europe now. And I think eventually, whether we like it or not, a Super League is going to form. And it's going to end up being a blend of like American. There's going to be a worldwide soccer league. There will. I'll call it soccer because that's what it's going to be called. It's going to get Americanized sooner or later. It's unavoidable. All the big teams will leave the major leagues and they'll form one big Super League. And you'll be seeing Barcelona versus Arsenal on a Wednesday night in fucking Dallas. It became better, but still 40-year-old players can still humiliate them. Oh, Amir, we've got to enjoy trolling on them while we can. Because the writing is on the wall. It is. Then they won't be number one. They won't be number one in our lifetime. Fortunately, I'll be dead and won't have to see it. But they will get there eventually. They've done it the smart way. They've grown their own league. It's become bigger and bigger and bigger. They've brought marketable players into the league, like Messi. They've got Beckham owning a team as well. And then they've also bought up major teams in England as well. I mean, they've got Liverpool, they've got Arsenal, they've got who else have they got? Aston Villa are American owned. There's a couple I'm forgetting as well. Chelsea are American owned as well. It's only a matter of time. These hedge funds and stuff, they're putting a lot of money into football. And these capitalists, these venture capitalists, these American venture capitalists are investing in European football, and they're buying up clubs. It's only a matter of time. I play in a league where all the teams play like Arsenal. It's so annoying. I mean, they have ruined the game. But I blame Pep for that more than I do Arsenal. I blame Pep Guardiola for because I hate the way Man City play football, and I'm glad that Pep is gone. Because fuck me, they are so boring to watch. Barcelona playing soccer in the US, I love it. I know that we termed it. But I've had a problem with it ever since the Americans started calling theirs American football. When you kick the ball a small minority of the game, it annoys me. They can become 6th, 7th if they put NBA amount of money. I mean, it's not going to happen overnight. But it's like I said, the writing's on the wall. I think what's gonna push it over the edge will be the Super League. I genuinely think that's gonna happen. I genuinely think it will. Because America's got such diverse playing opportunities. Their clubs are starting to become wealthier and wealthier. They've got stadiums now that they fill up 70,000 people. It's crazy. There's probably only 2 stadiums in the UK that have 70,000. It's mad. They've got the infrastructure, they've got the space, and Americans, they want to dominate everything. They're competitive. When they latch their fucking talons into something, they go all out. And they've got their talons into football right now. I'd love to say that they're never going to get there, but they will. It's already happened. We let them in a little bit too much, and now they're in. They're too far in, especially with allowing them to buy like English clubs. We've done it to ourselves. We've done it to ourselves. We've only got ourselves to blame. We've let them in, and we're not going to be able to get them out. The Premier League in particular has sold its soul. And we will have a Super League in the next 10 years. How you doing, Juice Man? Juice Man, who do you support again? I've forgotten. I know you support somebody. I know you support somebody for sure. Anyway, lads, I've probably overstayed my welcome. It's 9:30 here. I've still got to get a nice workout in. Much love to everyone here, as always. I'm always like blown away when people turn up to hang out. It wasn't the best stream we've ever done, but it's been funny. It's been a little bit diverse. We got a little bit of football talk in there, a little bit of MMA talk, a little bit of this and that. I've had some of my favorite creators turn up, so I'm very pleased with today. It's been good. It's been shit, but it's been adequate. Adequate shit. Anyway, no, I was talking about football teams. We even threw in a little bit of NBA talk, which is quite rare for this channel. I never talk about basketball, but we threw some of that in there as well. Messi bought 5th-tier Spanish club Cornelia. Well, I guess they might be one to look out for. If they're a publicly traded thing, might want to look into that because they're gonna reach for the moon. Messi's got the funding, he's got the profile, could do really well. Anyway, guys, I'm gonna bugger off. It's been a pleasure. Shout out to all of you. Americans are competitive about how much food they eat. Like the new facial hair. This is as good as it gets. I can't grow any more than that. I look better than Giuliano though, which isn't much of an achievement. Anyway, Lena, I appreciate it. And shout out to you. Much love as always. I will let me know if you've got any tasty bets for this coming week because I'm trying to get myself back in the game. 1 second. Oh, I'm only American football, Rams and UFC. I want to get into soccer though. If I do Mexico, so you're going to go for Mexico in the World Cup. Mexico's not a bad shout. I mean, not to win anything, but they'll be fun to watch. Anyway, guys, much love to all of you. I'm going to try and get on back during the week, but I say that all the time and I never do it. I will try to jump on midweek. The next card is not very good. We've got Bilal and Bonfim, but there's a couple of decent fights on that card. Lane, if you can hit me up with a few parlay suggestions for that one, I'd really appreciate it because you're obviously always good value. Guys, much love. I'll see you on the next one. Yeah. Salutations. And I hope the rest of you have a great weekend.